Hello, Manchester United family. Welcome to the channel Man Utd News. Rasmus Højlund offered escape route as Star told he can't stay. After seeing their team turn their form around in the lead-up to the international break, Manchester United supporters are getting a glimpse of what might happen in the summer. Manchester United go into the international break off the back of some impressive results and performances. Ruben Amorim's team got the better of Real Sociedad in Europe and followed it up by making light work of Leicester, giving Amorim something to build on in April and May. United should also have some players returning from injury when they return to action away to Nottingham Forest. Aiden Heaven looks unlikely to be back that soon, though, having left the field on a stretcher during the win at the King Power Stadium. On the transfer front, questions have been asked about two players at different stages of their United careers. Jadon Sancho's potential permanent exit has been discussed, while Rasmus Højlund could also be handed a way out despite ending his goal drought on Sunday. In the meantime, plenty of players are on international duty. Diogo Dalot and Bruno Fernandes will be on Nations League duty for Portugal, with three of their United teammates looking to stop them in their tracks as part of Brian Reamer's Denmark squad. Off the field, there has also been discussion of the season ticket changes planned ahead of the 2025-26 campaign. Here are Mirror Football's latest lines from around Old Trafford. Scholes calls out Ratcliffe. Paul Scholes has suggested Manchester United are almost begging for funds amid Sir Jim Ratcliffe's stadium plans. The former United star, speaking on the overlap fan debate, raised questions about the backing for Ratcliffe's ambitious project. You can be gullible at times and believe what Sir Jim Ratcliffe says, just because you've never heard anyone say anything before, Scholes said. You don't know how realistic it is, it's all up in the air. At Dortmund, he was magnificent. At Manchester United, it didn't work well for him. He came to Chelsea, and at the beginning we saw that Sancho from Dortmund, but then he disappeared, Gallas told Stadium Astro. I don't know what the problem is, but at the moment he can't stay at Chelsea because he has to do more. When you play in the Premier League, you have to play every game at the highest level. It's not easy, but you can't just play well for a few games and then chill out. Hojlund offered escape route. Napoli could offer Rasmus Højlund a way out of his tough Manchester United situation. The Danish striker has scored just 3 Premier League goals this season, with Sunday's effort against Leicester his first of 2025 in any competition. The Serie A side, managed by Antonio Conte, are considering a swap deal which would see Hojlund move to Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, with Victor Osimhen moving to Old Trafford. Osimhen has been banging in the goals. Words are cheap, and we could say anything about anyone. You can say in 10 years we'll have the biggest and best stadium. For a long time we've been called the richest club in the world, but I feel like we're begging a little, asking for the stadium and that we need $2 billion and selling players to buy players. Sancho given future verdict. Former Chelsea star William Gallas believes Jadon Sancho can't stay at Stamford Bridge, despite the Blues' agreement with Manchester United. A finish of 14th or higher in the league will trigger an obligation for the London club to sign the loanee permanently, though it is understood they can still pay United a lower fee to cancel such a move. Ayden Heaven offers injury update after leaving pitch on stretcher in Man Utd. Scare Ayden Heaven added to Ruben Amorim's Manchester United injury woes when he was stretchered off the field against Leicester City due to injury at the weekend, and he has now provided an update. Manchester United defender Ayden Heaven has offered an update on his progress after being stretchered off the field against Leicester City. The 18-year-old has reassured fans he is recovering quickly amid Ruben Amorim's injury crisis. Heaven made his first Premier League start for the club against the Foxes before being forced off the pitch after 51 minutes. The centre-half required treatment after a tangle of legs with Leicester forward Patson Daka, while Sky refused to show a replay of the incident. The teenager made a quick impression after joining United in January and has already featured against the likes of Arsenal and Real Sociedad. Heaven signed for the Red Devils from the Gunners in a $1 million deal. His progress took a blow when he was forced off against Leicester, however. But the defender appears to be in positive spirits as he starts his recovery. Thank you guys for all the support, he posted on an Instagram story. I have read all your messages, and I'm doing really well and recovering fast. This week is to be used to evaluate Heaven's injury, with the international break ensuring the United ace has some dedicated time to recover. Ruben Amorim offered an update immediately following his side's win over Lexer. "We have to evaluate during the week," the Portuguese head coach said in a post-match interview. "He's a young kid, and he doesn't know how to explain what he's feeling. It is hard for us to know. He's a bit calm now, but we have to assess in the week. He already played well against Arsenal and Real Sociedad. Today for me was the most difficult game for him because we expect him to relax a bit, but he was so focused. It was clear today my players are at the limit. We are going to use this window to rest and recover. It will be good. The feeling is completely different. When we return, it will be like starting from scratch. United were already short in the center of defense, and were without several senior stars for the trip to face the Foxes. Lisandro Martinez is a long-term absentee after undergoing ACL surgery in February, while Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, Lenny Yoro, and Luke Shaw were all absentees from Sunday's match. Heaven's injury leaves Matthijs de Ligt and Victor Lindelof as the only central defenders currently fit for Amorim. Noussair Mazraoui was required to fill in as part of a back three for the remainder of the game against Leicester. Ruben Amorim's plans for international break as Man Utd priority becomes clearer. Ruben Amorim hopes Manchester United can take advantage of the international break to reinvigorate the club's energy and injury list moving into the final phase of the season. Ruben Amorim has devised a plan to allow his players to rest during the international break. A number of United stars will be representing their national teams in the coming days, but for those who did not receive a call-up, their efforts will be carefully managed. The United boss has conceded his team has looked tired, and as a result he will split up his players that remain at Carrington. Those still recovering from injury will remain at work, but those who are simply without fixtures will be afforded an opportunity to recover. Amorim will also look to take some time for himself, but admitted it could be difficult for his coaching staff to rest, following the win over Leicester City. But there is an ambition to take advantage of the break, to ensure a solid platform to end the season upon. For the coaches, it is difficult to have time off, Amorim said of his international break plans. "We are going to divide the group. Some of the players like Mason Mount and Toby Collier, they have to work on their fitness. We have to recover players to help them all. Harry Maguire, Kobbie Mainoo, all these players, we are going to try to bring that fitness. The players must make a final push for 2 competitions. Some of the players are going to rest more days than usual, so we are going to divide and give different things for different players and try to be ready for the final 2 months." Despite earning 3 points against Leicester, Amorim could see his side are pushing their boundaries. "It was clear today my players are at the limit," he said. "We are going to use this window to rest and recover. It will be good. The feeling is completely different. When we return, it will be like starting from scratch." One figure unlikely to earn much of a break is Bruno Fernandes. The Portugal midfielder faces Nations League matches against Rasmus Højlund and Denmark over the next week. But such are his contributions to Amorim's side. The club captain is not a player the 40-year-old can consider offering too much of a break. "I don't feel that in Bruno. He's a special guy in that aspect," Amorim said. "He's always ready. He can recover quite well. I don't know the future. I'm just reading what the performance department tell me, the numbers, and then what I see in the game. So I always see a Bruno that is dangerous and a Bruno that can recover in every situation. So he's going to stay there." This surprised me. How Ayden Heaven has impressed his Manchester United teammates. Ayden Heaven has made a positive impact at Man Utd, but is now sweating on the extent of a leg injury picked up against Leicester City on Sunday. Manuel Ugarte said he had been surprised by the strength of character and personality Ayden Heaven has shown after his rapid ascension to the Manchester United team since joining in January. United signed Heaven for just over £1 million from Arsenal, but a spate of injuries in defense has thrust him into the spotlight quicker than expected, with Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Lenny Yoro, and Johnny Evans all sidelined. That has led to Heaven making 4 appearances for United, including starts against Real Sociedad and Leicester City, but he has now joined his colleagues on the treatment table, picking up an injury during the win at the King Power Stadium on Sunday. The 18-year-old is waiting to find out the extent of that issue. Having been stretchered off early in the second half, he left the stadium without the use of crutches, although his foot was in a protective boot. It ended another promising evening for Heaven, who had been excellent in the first half, and Ugarte has seen enough to believe the teenager will have the personality required to get over the injury and come back even stronger. I don't know how he is. I haven't asked him, but the truth is, he's a very strong guy, he said. This surprised me about him, the personality he has. He's played very well in the last few games. Let's hope he doesn't get too bad, and that he recovers well and is ready for what's to come. Heaven played his part in a second successive convincing victory for a United team beginning to show signs of improvement under Ruben Amorim. Ugarte worked with the Portuguese head coach at Sporting and has impressed since being reunited with Amorim at Old Trafford. He has begun to show his best form, while the team is now also finding consistency in the 3-4-2-1 shape, favored by the head coach. "I'm happy. Here I'm playing, I feel good," said Ugarte. "Obviously we want to get up to the top. We're not in a good position in the table at the Premier League, but it's a long way, and I think we're on the right track. I think we're more solid, more consistent, but the important thing is that we are winning again, that we maintain consistency in the victories, and I think we're slowly achieving that. Obviously it takes work, but yes, I think we're more solid when it comes to defending, and that's important. The training is very good, it's very intense. We always try to match the intensity of the game, and that's important because then it's easier for us to have intensity in the game. And well, I think that takes time too. It takes time to know the dynamics, but we're happy." United have lost only 3 of their last 17 games under Amorim, and with selection looking more settled, one of the strengths of the team has been the partnership between Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, who is continuing to post impressive attacking numbers despite being moved to a deeper midfield position. "Bruno is doing very well," said Ugarte. "He's at a very high level. His quality in terms of goals, assists, and how he's committed defensively is important. He's the captain, and we all look up to him. I feel comfortable playing with him. He's a very good person on a daily basis. He's a captain, so we're happy with him." Thanks for watching the full video. Stay tuned for more updates.